Hello there, Rabbi. What a beautiful background.
New Mexico is always the place to be.
The metaphor of the balloons floating away, sort of like reminds me of the relationships I've had in my life and people that I've known and that I haven't seen in a long time. What is it is about our relationships that we tend to take for granted? When we say goodbye to people, we don't think, well, this might be the last time I'm going to see this person.
And I wouldn't want to be that morbid or say to myself, "Ooh, this might be the last time I'm gonna." No, not let's not be conscious of that. I think it's important to be conscious of the fact that nothing is permanent, and we want to take advantage of the time we have to be with people, to say goodbye to people, to say hello to people. When I'm dealing with, when I worked in hospice, no one, you've heard this before, no one dying has ever said, I should have spent more time at work. I should have spent more time at the office. You've heard that said before. Something else that's very common is, I always wanted to go fishing, but I never found the time. I always wanted to own a bass boat. I always wanted to do fly fishing. I never did. The third that comes up quite often is, there are some people I wanted to spend more time with, and I just didn't. And it's obviously too late now. So that's our message, Joe, is we want to make time to be with, to say hello to say goodbye to different people who we crossed paths with, who we met during our lives, and not have that regret later, and not even have a second thought about it. Let's just put that into our agenda. We are not too busy for anything. It's about priorities and creating a list. What's most important? And too often we put things on the top of the list that should go further down on the list. Aren't you going to go to a reunion soon?
Yes, and that's one of the things that put me on this train of thought because I'm reconnecting with friends I haven't seen in a long, long time, including some I thought I would never see again. Really, the message I think I want to keep in my heart is I should treasure everyone around me. And we do take people for granted sometimes, don't we?
Yes, we do. We take a lot of things for granted. We take our health for granted. We take our teeth for granted until we need to go to the dentist. Lots of things we take for granted. And the point that you and I are making is, that's very human to take things for granted. And let's not do that. We don't have to take things for granted. We can stop and say, I haven't heard from. I'm going to give them a call. Especially with FaceTime, with Zoom, there's easier ways now than ever. You used to be able to say, oh, I have to write to somebody, and to take the time to write a letter. Now, with the internet, it's very easy to find people that we haven't seen or family members. So we can get rid of that idea that it's too time consuming or difficult. Step one. Next, if the person comes to mind, contact them. That's the key indicator. It meant you're thinking of them, they're in the back of your mind. And therefore, they should go to the top of your priority list. Doesn't have to be going 4 hours away to a reunion. It can be a Zoom. It can be a FaceTime. It can be a text. Really easy ways to reconnect or to connect, so that at some point in our lives, we don't say, oh, I really missed, or I had the chance. It's nothing about being morbid, because there's a good chance we'll see each other again. And that's what leads us to take people for granted, is the assumption we're going to see each other again. There's a good chance that'll happen. So let's not make it a life or death or end of life issue. Let's reconnect.
I know I always appreciate our conversations, Rabbi. Thank you, as always, for that advice. Uh, I hope to see you soon. And if I don't, take care.
And as a hitchhiker across the galaxy once said, so long, Joe, and thanks for all the fish.